The Great Arby's Avalanche. In my high school years I had a typical high school job of fast food worker at Arby's. Most of the job was very easy. And surprisingly fun unless there was a real shithead manager that happened to be working that day. Well. This is a story about revenge on a boss/manager. Our store had a real gem female manager that was very out and open about her hating men. She was a lesbian, nothing wrong with that, and made it very clear to all males she absolutely did not matter to her. She would give females extra breaks, allow them to be late, give them free food etc. The males on the other hand were treated like actual piles of dog doo-doo. The manager would leave us alone during busy times and sit in her car. She would take insane amount of smoke breaks and whine and complain at us when she'd come back and things would be all backed up.
Eventually several months of her garbage attitude and clear hatred got the best of me, and one day I had enough and I hatched a plan. Arby's, at that time, used to take call-ahead orders on large workplace or party orders. People would call in and say they needed X amount of sandwiches for a luncheon. These call-in orders didn't need verified in any way. Anyone could call these in. I heard a different manager one time explain to someone that if someone were to call in a $300 order and ditch the order, he'd probably get fired for allowing that much beef to get wasted. The roast beef product at Arby's is treated like gold. One day I knew this manager was working with me and I executed my plan. About halfway through the shift I used the bathroom and texted a friend that was willing to help me. I simply texted him it's go time. My buddy then calls our store and puts in an order for 200 roast beef sandwiches, which at that time would be about $300 to $350.
This didn't affect me whatsoever because I was on drive-through that day and didn't need to make food. My manager immediately gets pissed that she had to make all this food and starts the process. After about an hour she gets finished and goes on a tirade about how stupid everyone at that store is. Over the next 2 hours it was next to impossible for me to hold in my laughter as I could tell she was growing very angry and worried that the order was never getting picked up. I started noticing her making phone calls to other managers and upper management people about what the hell to do with 200 roast beef sandwiches. Eventually it was time for me to clock out and go home. So I did. Over the next several times I worked I noticed I was not with this idiot manager anymore. In fact, I never saw her ever again. She either quit, or was fired. I guess I'll never know.
I'm more concerned over how someone could get fired over one customer getting a large catering order and failing to pick it up. Like that's completely out of the manager's control. Unless there's something like, manager has to receive prepayment for orders over X dollar, that wasn't being followed.
They should have taken a credit card over the phone.
You had a beef with that cow and steered a large order in her direction then hooved it. Utter madness.
So someone can call up and order 200, 300, 500 sandwiches and no card number is taken as a guarantee? That's crazy. But how is it the store manager's fault? If company policy is to allow this?
Petty really. Also, who makes 200 sandwiches without payment?
How mentally underdeveloped is Arby's? How can a worker be fired for something that isn't even their fault? Assuming company policy stated that everyone could order without verification. I'm not trying to defend that manager. But firing someone over something that is entirely the customer's fault seems like a fine lawsuit. Even in at-will states. If they give reasons.
Roast beef product.
What a gullible. What a nincompoop. Now I'm sad there are no more Arby's in my area. This was a good revenge plot, but the food got wasted sadly. Why hasn't this been removed or moved to our petty revenge?
Now I want Arby's.
I'm concerned BC that sounds like a nice, alright manager might get in trouble if something similar happens. Seems like something that is out of their control? This one seems pretty unrealistic to me. Plus, congrats. You just wasted a fuckton of food. Good job? This story is pretty telling about what a shit company Arby's is. I miss Arby's 5 for 5 deal during the early 2000s. I could get that and be set for 2 to 3 days sans drinks. Had a female boss who always gave me clean-up sick duty on rides at the miniature theme park I worked at, no matter where I was, even if I was on a break, which HR did prevent at least during my breaks.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.